Who gets lost in the insolvency industry? Well, I think it would be most owners of small to medium-sized enterprises that step in and try and evaluate whether they should engage an accountant or a lawyer or engage an insolvency practitioner directly, because the industry is very opaque and it's very complex. What I see all the time is clients in the construction industry, the transport industry, the retail industry being tipped over the edge and being poorly served by their advisors. So their accountant has 100 clients, and for them to provide a bespoke analysis of their position is unlikely. Why do they get tipped over the edge? Okay, well, these clients get tipped over the edge because of management issues. So they have a dispute with their co-owners, proprietor sickness, proprietor depression is an issue, large projects that are a drain on cash flows, and also businesses that lose their main client. Why do people get lost in the insolvency industry? Well, the first issue is there's no regulations in place that can give you any guidance about who can give you advice. So that means that anyone can sit down and put themselves forward as a small to medium-sized enterprise consultancy in this area. The other thing is that the accountancy industry is very poorly serving their clients. The reason is obvious, which is that most accounting practices have over 100 clients. And so it would be irrational of them to spend an inordinate amount of time with their insolvent clients when their solvent clients are going to pay them more and require less work. Insolvency practitioners are also under a very strong conflict of interest. Strong conflict of interest is because they get paid more for voluntary administration compared to providing restructuring advice. So if they sit down with a director and they provide meaningful due diligence and advice, then they lose potential upside in terms of fees, and they also rule themselves out of being involved with lawyers if it goes to court or being involved within a formal process. The result is that a lot of the businesses and the business owners that get lost in the insolvency industry face a fire sale. What happens is they procrastinate, they talk to the wrong advisors, they don't pay their tax debts, they don't file their tax returns, and they delay it to the point where they're forced to go into liquidation or voluntary administration. And this results, at least 95% of the time, in them getting no return. What steps can a business owner take if they're lost in the insolvency industry? Well, the number one thing is to shop around. Speak to different advisors, read articles, get direct feedback on directors and also accountants and lawyers who've dealt with the consultant. Get first-hand experiences. The second thing is make sure your financials are up to date. If a business doesn't have its accounts up to date, then no one is going to be able to analyze their opposition. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. The last thing is network. Networking is very important because it gives you the opportunity to speak to other directors who have had the same problems. And that will give you an insight about the quality of the advisor that you need to engage.